Hello, fellow academics, and welcome back to Beeftorio. We're still at the, end of a drought, so to speak. And there are a couple of things that we want to focus on today. For one, we want to make sure that this tunnel actually goes in, and our beavers are still happily building this in here. So that should be going overall okay. And then I think in today's episode, we're also trying to figure out the best way of extending the ability to transport liquid down these pipes. So I think all of this should actually be okay, and we're going to simply try, well, first of all, to open this part up so it doesn't need to go down and back up again. And then we're probably just widening the area over here. Now, what that will ultimately mean is that for a little bit, we will lose our water supply from this side. But I think in the long run, it will be just worth it. So first, we need to find a good way of getting down here. And the way we're going to plan for that is literally just, building our typical steps. I am really missing the ladders from the leafy greens, the leaf codes that I've been playing for the last couple of days. It is, again, I can't say it enough. It's just a fun faction to play with. Right. Regardless, overall, this is not too bad. And with that, we're already over here. So let's go ahead, high prioritize them all, because I would love for this to be done first. The next thing, you guys have nothing to do. That makes sense. So I will actually pause you. I kind of need to get this guy in first. You technically don't have anything to do. We do have 3 lumberjacks here as well that don't have anything to do. So let's pause all of you as well. And you guys are already paused. So let's go ahead still and make sure we are prioritizing the lumberjacks here, because as the new water is coming out, this will hopefully fill up really quickly. And then they can start planting trees. With that, we should ultimately solve our log shortage-ish. And we still have a direct path over this way where all of our log storage is. So I'm hoping that will work out just fine. In addition, we're a little bit short on planks, but I think at the end of last episode, we had paused some of these buildings, which should ultimately help us to build up our plank production. But then again, we're also still building all of this, which is taking a ton of planks. So maybe we will actually just expand our plank production, to be honest. So there are a couple of ways that we could do this. And I think we're just going to add a bit of plank production at the back here. Double level here. This could be just 2 double levels. In that case, so could this. And then we need a triple here. A double on top. And then we also need a double triple in front. No, actually, that is not true. Just another double on top of the triples in the front. That should give us then enough space to build the added, we don't need that one here, the added plank production facilities here. And a double here, you can disappear. And then we'll set it up like that. All right, slightly higher priority on these, because it would be nice to get these done. And then we're going to set in plank production, one here, one there, there. And then later on, we might even set another one here. I think that will ultimately do the trick for us. See how far they've gotten here though? Actually, ultimately not too bad. I am quite happy that this doesn't need to be too massive of an expansion, but we can already place or plan for the increase over here. And I think we're actually going to set it up until we reach this area there. Probably don't need to fill this up actually. But that one needs to go high. There we go. And then we should kind of be able to connect this in. All right. So while our beavers are building, let's have another look at our... You guys are fast. Very nice. So that is in here. The important thing that we really need to do here though, not entirely sure what we do have a platform here. So let's remove the platform, highest priority please. And then we're going to put a sluice right in front of it. It will allow the water to flow from this area into this part right there. Now, water into this area we're gonna get through our mechanical pumps. They're all set up, all automatic, so there shouldn't be anything that we need to do. We're a little bit low on power supply. I guess that is in part because we were in a drought, but now that the regular water and the bad water is coming back in, we should ultimately be fine. Because these water wheels are actually gonna start up soon-ish. Soonish. All right. In the meantime, let's have a look down here and why I think we actually need to fix this. When you look at this, oh no, it is actually flowing. Maybe it's just doing a bad tide where the flow gets blocked. Huh. I wonder if that's the case. All right. So maybe we will actually for now remove these. As the water is flowing out, I'm not touching that for now, but we're gonna make sure that they will build the staircases all the way down so that we can do, we can act if we need to. All right. Foresters are all in and they are all planting stuff, which is pretty awesome. So that should be growing soonish, fast, hopefully. And once all of these trees are grown up, we're gonna add more foresters over in this corner and kind of start to retire this area. Because I would love for this area to be used for all of our food rather than split between our forest industry and our food supply. All right. So with that done, what else do we need to do? Let's see. Ultimately, we need to get more food. An aquatic farmhouse would be nice. The problem over here at the moment is we don't have a good level to do any kind of farming. So that is something that we could and probably should fix, which tells me we need to go ahead and plan to get some dirt out so we can actually raise a little bit of a level over here. I mean, alternatively, we could just open this part up, but no, we wanted to keep this for water storage in the long run. All right, all of that is coming in nicely. There is still the sluice in here that we have built. It is actually still rushing out from here. So currently we're providing a decent amount of water. I should actually be able to close this off. And we'll just flow over the top. Good job, me. Right, in that case, let's open it all the way up. We have an opening here. So what we could do in order to streamline all of this, maybe not, maybe streamline is not the right word, but we could build another like outlet up here that only opens up if the water in here is at a certain height. But that would probably make sense. Oh, look at that. Oh, water is actually... How's water? Oh, I forgot to build the sluice. All right. Landscaping, sluice, this direction, highest priority, please. And when the downstream depth, close above downstream depth of 0.9. All right. But look at that. Our water pumps are actually filling this up. Struggling to get all of this over here done. All right, but overall not too bad. All right. Let's go ahead and make sure, like I said, we're utilizing that area properly. Didn't need to just delete the path, but that is fine. So high priority for picking up all of these. And then we set down levees over here. Guess I don't need one there. But we will need a sluice here. And then this water will actually flow out this way, filling up this area. Maybe it shouldn't be a sluice. Maybe a sluice and a dam. Maybe a sluice and a dam. That height here, I think at least, is the same height as this one. Yeah, and we kind of want to fill this up. All right. So this will be a sluice. And next to it, we're going to build a dam. Makes me also think we probably don't need this and should build a secondary dam over this way. Or place that in here. No, this will do a better... will do the trick better for us. Let's make sure all of this is high prioritized. That sluice is in and is doing its job. Water is being pumped over here. This will obviously take a while to actually fill up. But I think that's all right. I think that is all right. It is nighttime. The Badtide is coming soon. I don't think we need to change anything for the Badtide. I think everything should still work just fine. Let's hope that is true. And then we can also check if the water flow actually changes after the Badtide. Actually, has the water flow changed now? No, you're still flowing. It is a bit hard to tell with those... Oh, but you guys aren't flowing. Okay. So we will need to solve this. Obviously not with the start of a Badtide, but yeah. We're ready for it. All the stairs are in, so that's pretty good. They've also built all of this already. Let's pause the lumber mills. They need to focus on the frontage area here. So we have a path towards our plank production. All right. What is all of this? Scrap metal. Badtide started. There should still be a good amount of stuff coming out over here. Doesn't quite look like there's Badtide coming in here. the water coming out there. Yeah. It's kind of how this works with these pipes. I kind of figured that would overflow already, even though we're not fully ready back here yet. Oh well. Bottom line though, this is looking pretty good, to be honest. I forgot what I left this part for. Trees should be coming in anyways. So we'll be doing fine. And that is still pumping a good amount of water in there. 23-day bad tide though. Not entirely sure if we'll get to the place where all of this kind of makes sense. That didn't make sense at all. We get to a place where all of this water actually remains in there. Need to make sure, yep, back here is still open. And I think what we'll also plan on doing, because there's technically no need to pump if we can just open this part with tunnels. Where are my tunnels? Landscaping, tunnels. If we just go through here, open this up, and then just make sure we're prevented from topping over. All right, the big question is, how do we get down here? And we might also already be okay if we just put two staircases in there, and maybe they'll be able to get to that. All right, making sure, highest priority. We have left this in so they actually get to the other side here, which will be quite useful. But besides that, a little bit short on logs. Not too surprised with also the added plank production in here. Well, I guess they're not added yet. What are they currently using the logs for? Anyways, bad water coming out here, bad water coming out here, bad water coming out a ton over here, and everything in there stays green, blue. So that is doing just fine. And these should actually producing just about enough. I am very surprised. So with this build out in this direction, we might need... Where would we build more water wheels? I guess we could expand this out. Get a few more water wheels in here. Or ultimately just build more windmills. I'm surprised we're using up so much power. Alright. How are you guys coming along over here? Well, planks are missing. Planks are missing everywhere, so that kind of makes sense. Which is also why we are building more plank production. Yeah, if I unpause you, you still don't have access to the main area. I guess we could temporarily remove you. Put in a path like that. And now we can unpause you. Bit more planks, always appreciated. What's actually our gear situation? Almost almost 1,000. 600, almost 600. So that is coming along quite nicely. But other than that, I have been slacking a little bit on the production, which seems a bit ridiculous considering how much of the production is actually going on. But again, we just need a ton of the planks to get all of this done. And we will keep needing a ton of the planks. Makes me wonder, what if we actually don't build all of this up? What if we leave sort of a central area in here anyways? I could see that being actually quite nice. So let's remove you for now. What a weird way of building this. Okay. Anyways, our beavers are doing weird stuff. No surprise there. Ooh. Our one beaver is unwell, actually. This flooded a little bit. That's why I needed to open that part here. At least that means a bit more power production. But that also tells me this kind of needs to be... What would it need to be? I guess just expand it out, to be honest. Could actually be in our favor. Because, like I said, a few more water wheels could be nice. And we have enough ground space here, I think, to build at least 2 more. If we can reach them. So why don't we plan for that? Going to... actually, don't need to do that right now. Because again, plenty of power output. Even with the windmills basically not producing anything. So that should do us good. Right, let's also get in the next lumber mill. Remove now that temporary path that we've put in. Add a few more lumber mills here. Even though we are slowly getting out of... Alright, so that we will need to fix. Let's see, landscaping. Not landscaping, water. No, where is the bad water barrier? Contamination barrier. Alright, 400 science, cool. Doesn't bother me. Let's make sure we're removing the paths here. Need to actually remove 1 more level there. And then put in, not this one, the contamination barrier here and here as well. And I think at least with a platform, yeah, we can get over this, because there shouldn't be the option to put a path over these barriers, unfortunately. Alright. A little bit of a hike above, but otherwise that is fine. And they should be able to build these, of course, 5 planks. Right, but we can high prioritize that. And this area, why is this so much more contaminated compared to that? I don't quite know. Right. Regardless, not this one. Contamination barrier. There we go. And same as before. Remove. I guess here we need just 3 of them. Because we should be able to put a ladder on this side. Ladder on this side. And a single platform on top. I prioritize that as well. And then can't forget, obviously, the contamination barrier underneath. Now that should protect at least, the majority of these trees. And we're kind of out of water here that was used to well, hydrate, so to speak, these trees up there. That should be fine. 14 days? Nope, not quite fine. Can't get all the required materials. I guess that makes sense as well. So as per usual, we're high prioritizing them all. Which again will help with this part quite a lot. All right. Now you have 2 dam pieces here. And this area is just open. So the water should actually be able to just flow in over this way. All right. Getting there. Slowly, but steadily. All right, what else do we need to kind of sort out? I think I'll actually just leave this open. Because, yeah, I don't know if it... Oh, our power supply actually shrunk. So maybe it's detrimental. All right. What we can do, though, is plan to have another power connection. I guess the next power connection would need to go in here. Yeah, you will be able to reach that, so don't worry about it. Also need to make sure we're already planning for the levees over there. Yeah, it's probably a bit overkill, that part. But I think it'll be good to have. Right. There are a couple of ways that we can actually get across here. I think because we have them all unlocked. 15. Phew. Yeah, maybe not. This needs 15 planks. That needs 8 times 2. No other material. All right. Let's go ahead and do that. And make sure we're building all of this. All right. Slightly higher priority than usual. There we go. And they should be getting to this pretty fast. Right, all of our lumber mills are in, which means our plank production should go up as long as our log production is doing okay. The pine trees have grown though. That is a good start. Have you guys built all of this? No, all of the planks are missing. Oh, this is completely built. Very nice. And see, it does not protect anything. Alright, you're on highest priority still. So once this is in, all of these trees should just be able to grow as they need to. Good. Alright. You guys should have stopped pumping now. Yep, that is good. You guys are probably gonna die 10 days. Yeah. But you're almost grown. So very soon we'll be able to unpause some of our lumberjacks here. Actually, I'm gonna unpause you guys right now. Mm, 93%. 7% of 30 days. Yeah. 0.3 times 7 is 2 days, 2 and a bit days. I guess I can pause you actually. If it's 2 more days. Put you back in the cycle of workers. Alright. So that is coming along, even though very slowly. Plank production starting to plummet because of our lumber production. That makes sense. How far ahead are you guys actually? Mixed. Great. Oh, there we go. Trees are actually coming in, although slowly, but, you know, steadily. All right. Next thing we can do, not that we necessarily need it, but you never know what's gonna happen. So let's put in, like I had mentioned in the past, they all need planks as well. So let me remove all of them again. We really need just way more planks, but we're also going to produce them. So yeah. Our dynamite, where's our dynamite 24? I could actually unpause you. Pause our centrifuge for now, because we're just filling up the extract. Two scientists in there. I guess we do have a ton of science, but That is also okay. They have already built the tunnel in here. Very nice. Right. But we also need to make sure the sluice goes in here. And that's gonna close above a downstream depth of 1. Wait. Do I need a sluice? Yes, because I don't want it to flow back out. And then it needs to be a downstream depth of 1. Alright. That makes sense. Mine's actually coming in pretty quick. Sluices in. We can remove the ladder and that little piece over here. Freeing up some planks at least. That's not too bad. 99%. Unpause you. That's a very slow 1%. But yeah, it'll happen. All right. Oh, I wonder actually if we should do it the other way. So we could actually supply additional water over here. Because you're keeping this technically topped up. Oh, I kind of like that. Alright, sorry about that. Highest priority. We're gonna delete the sluice. Once everyone is back to work. Good. Trees are coming in. New ones are being replanted. Very nice. Alright, how's this coming along? 8. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I'm not impatient. Alright, almost done with this. There they have it. Let's face it. No. I can't face it this way. If I face it this way, then the whole point of filling this up quickly is gone. How is this so tricky? What I really want, kind of, is a secondary tunnel right next to it. One going in this direction and one going in the other direction. I mean, I could also manually do this with a single floodgate. But the whole point would be to allow it to go in both directions automatically. The automatically part is the important part. All right. Okay. Change my mind. Back in. Close at a downstream depth of 1. And then we're just gonna let this move along. Right. Once this is in, which is now, I will actually call this an episode. Might have been a bit boring, but we figured some stuff out. Still have a ton to do. And we'll be working on improving our industry as we move forward. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.